Desert Orchid, the 9-4 on favourite. Ten of Spades is 4-1. Nick the Brief at 7-1, and Kildama, the outsider, 10-1 from 12-1. They're all coated for the Agfa Diamond Chase.
Is 3 miles and 118 yards, and it's the grey in the lead. And Kildama was just a little bit slowly away, but Desert Orchid leads as they come to the first. Desert Orchid comes to the first, takes it safely, and Nick the Brief on the outside of Ten of Spades, and Kildama just the back marker as they swing right-handed and head up towards fence number 2. So Desert Orchid leading. They've won 60 races and over £900,000 in win and place prize money, and there are only just 4 runners in the race. And Desert Orchid lengthens his stride, and he takes a second well, and Ten of Spades doesn't, and Kildama was a bit slow at the rear of the field as well. And they come down towards the third, and Desert Orchid takes it safely from Nick the Brief and Ten of Spades, and Kildama fourth of the 4. The next one, which is a ditch, and Desert Orchid takes it under Richard Dunwoody by a length and a half. To Nick the Brief, the gap is 2 lengths to Ten of Spades and 8 lengths back to Kildama in the yellow jacket. So down towards fence number 5, the water jump, and as they come to it, Desert Orchid leads. Desert Orchid over from Nick the Brief and Ten of Spades, and Kildama a little bit awkward, and he's got a very high tail carriage. Doesn't seem to really enjoying himself, but you never know. Desert Orchid clear from Nick the Brief and Ten of Spades as they take the next, and a fine leap by Desi over in the lead. Desert Orchid, the leader, clear by 4 lengths now as he takes fence number 7. And here's Pritt, and Ten of Spades a little bit uncomfortable, and Desert Orchid comes to this, the 8th. And what an exhibition of jumping. Desert of Spades was a bit awkward, I must say. His jumping would have to improve if I was going to support him in a race like the Grand National. But anyway, it's Desert Orchid leading from Nick the Brief second. Into the picture in the yellow cap, Ten of Spades in the yellow colours, Kildama fourth of the 4. So Desert Orchid at the end of the first mile in this Agfa Diamond Chase is the leader. Nick the Brief in second place is getting over a stone. Ten of Spades is getting a stone and a half in the yellow cap, so too is Kildama, and they come down towards the 7th. And it's Desert Orchid, the grey. Of course, from Nick the Brief on the right in the white jacket, Robbie Supple rides, and then Kevin Mooney on Ten of Spades, and this is the 9th. And another fine leap by the front runner. And he's got under 2 miles to go. And I must say, at this pace, he must be enjoying himself. And they come down towards the 10th. This Desert Orchid comes to it, and he just simply does know what to do, doesn't he? From Nick the Brief in second, and then Ten of Spades just being niggled along. Desert Orchid at 6-4 on. Would you credit it? Ten of Spades at 7-2. Nick the Brief 11-2, and Kildama 8-1, and this is a second ditch. And he fair takes your breath away. And the crowd are giving him a round of applause, and he's got a circuit to go. And I must say, this slow pace should be suiting him. So Desert Orchid leading, and his ears pricked, and is out in front of his popular Sandown, and Jim McGrath, John Frankham going as well as any.
Well, after a couple of runs over 2 miles, I should think that he's only on his way down to the start at the moment. Really is lobbing along, enjoying himself. Ten of Spades has jumped a little bit indifferently, and Kildama now's got much closer to his field. Nick the Brief at the moment looks to be the only one who looks to be so really happy in behind the grey.
Who leads as they go down towards the 12th. Yeah, this was their first, is the 12th. And it's Desert Orchid by a length and a half to Nick the Brief, and Ten of Spades and Kildama, and they come to take this, the 12th fence. Then Desert Orchid comes to it, and he jumps it well. The Ten of Spades again a little bit low, and so just over 1.25 miles to race now. And on this right-handed turn, Richard Dunwoody showing the way to Robbie Supple and Robert Stronge and Kevin Mooney, who are in pursuit as Desert Orchid comes to take this, the 13th. Oh, we got a bit low at that. Oh dear. It's Desert Orchid the leader by about half a length now to Nick the Brief second, and Kildama as they take the next, and Desert Orchid's got his momentum back at that one. And it's Desert Orchid leading from Nick the Brief, and then Kildama at this, the last ditch, and he takes no distance at all out of Nick the Brief on the right, who's jumping equally as well as Desert Orchid, and they come down towards the 16th, which is the water for the second and last time. Desert Orchid, the leader. Nick the Brief on the right, and Kildimo's getting closer, and then 10 of spades, and they've got 6 more fences to jump, and Nick the Brief's only within 3 parts of a length of Desert Orchid at the first of these 3 railway fences, and Desert Orchid comes to it. He takes it, but only by half a length, and Nick the Brief's going with him. Kildimo is now out of it, and they've got 5 to jump. And it's Desert Orchid pricked his ears, sees a stride, jumps it safely from Nick the Brief, is going with him, and 10 of spades a mistake at the rear of the field. 4 out this, and Desert Orchid and Nick the Brief by a couple of lengths to Kildimo, and they've just got 3 more to jump, and now Desert Orchid by a neck, no more. Changes his legs there as they come out the back stretch, and it's Nick the Brief in second place, and Kildimo is in third. It's being niggled along by Robert Strange, but don't forget he's getting a lot of weight from Desert Orchid, and in the past he's beaten him at levels, and they've got 3 to jump, and Robbie Supple in the white jacket starting to feel just a little bit confident. He's looking around to see where Kildimo is, and 10 of spades a long way adrift, and they've got 3 to jump, and it's Desert Orchid on the left and Kildimo on the right, and Nick the Brief between them as they come down towards this, the third from home. Desert Orchid comes to take it with Nick the Brief, and Nick the Brief's going with him, and Desert Orchid's having to be niggled along, and Kildimo's coming with a run on the outside, and they've got just 2 more fences to jump, and any one of the 3 could win. They're lying across the track. Desert Orchid on the left, 2 out here, and what a superb leap by all 3, and Desert Orchid and Nick the Brief and Kildimo. What a triumph for the handicap, but they've just got 1 to jump, and it's Nick the Brief and Desert Orchid who's going on as they come to take the last. How do they jump it? And again they're all in the air together, and it's Nick the Brief and Desert Orchid, and it's Nick the Brief, a brave horse, and Desert Orchid's the battler, and Desert Orchid's going on as they race up towards the line, and the crowd is rising to him. What a tremendous performance by the Orchid, who wins the game. This is getting like a record. Nick the Brief is second, Kildimo is third. I just wonder if Richard Dunwoody had more up his sleeve, but he would have us believe. And there is 10 of spades coming home, 4th of the 4 in this Agfa Diamond Chase. But the result then of this Agfa Diamond Chase, it's a win for, would you believe it, number 1 Desert Orchid in the colours of Mr. Richard Burridge, trained at Whitby by David Elsworth, a 6-4 on favourite, ridden by Richard Dunwoody, for whom he is the 81st winner of the season.
Second, number 2, Nick the Brief, 11-2, and third, number 4, Kildimo at 8-1. The tape paid £1.50 the win. The dual forecast came to £2.60, and the computer straight forecast to £4.23 and 4 rounds.